So welcome back, students. This is our online meeting so that we can talk a little bit about our class activities that you are completing independently on your own at home. We're going to start with class activity 3I on page CA 58. Here we were looking at the work of 4 different students and trying to determine what their process was as they went through and completed each part of the assignment. I had done student one's work and modeled it in the discussion board and was hoping that you were going to be able to decipher what student two had done, write it in some equations, and also post that to the discussion board. So in students one's work, we see that they decomposed the 27 into 20 plus 7 and the 38 into 35 plus 3. The student was then able to make a 10 using the 7 and the 3 from the ones place, which built to 20 plus 10 plus 35. And that student resulted in 65 as the answer to the addition problem. For student two did some very similar things as student one did, but student two combined 2 5s in order to build to a 10. So here the student is still using the make a 10 property, or make a 10 method, in order to create a solution in the base 10 system. This required the student to decompose 27 into 20 plus 5 plus 2 and 38 into 30 plus 5 plus 3. The student was then able to reassociate using the associative property the 2 5s in order to build that 10, and then was able to look at the tens place at one time and then the ones place, the remaining ones, the 2 plus 3 at the other, still resulting in 65. Student 3 had a much different approach, and I wonder how well developed this student's addition sense is. And even the cardinality of his numbers seems a little bit shaky. The student counted by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, to deal with the tens place of the two numbers, and then counted on from 57. So he added on the 7 ones from the first add-in, 27, and then counted individually each additional one after that from the 8 in the ones place of 38. This seems like a tedious process, but one that is still mathematically sound and we could use to build upon and further develop his mathematic sense of addition. Finally, we have student 4's work, which demonstrates a subtraction problem. Here we see that the student was able to regroup that 110 into 10 ones in order to have enough ones to subtract the 5 ones in 45 from the 2 ones in 62. So the student decomposed 62 into 50 plus 10 plus 2 minus 45, and then was able to reassociate the 50 minus 40 and deal with the tens place of the number, resulting in 110, and then was able to take the 5 away from 5 plus 5 plus 2, the ones place that we have as a result of regrouping that 110 into 10 ones. So 10 from 50 minus 40 plus 5, the remaining ones when we regrouped that 10 into 10 ones and took 5 away, and then the 2 that were originally in the 62, the ones place of the 62, gives us a solution of 17. Now, if I were to see the students work for similar problems that were on the next page of your class activity, same page of your class activity, 36 plus 27, this is what I would expect student 1 to do. I would expect that student to decompose it, regroup those tens, so 30 plus 20, and then to envision 6 and building to a 10 by adding 4 from the decomposed 7, 4 plus 3. So then we'd have 30 plus 20 plus 10, and then the 3 left over, so 63. Whereas student 2, I think, would do things a little bit differently. That student likes to build to 5s and then build her 5s into 10s, which is a perfectly solid way of looking at it as well. A little different than student 1, but nevertheless mathematically sound. So the equations that I see student 2 using to solve 36 plus 27 are there. And I would see student 3 dealing with the tens place first in the numbers, adding on the 6 ones from the first addend of 36, and then adding individually the 7 ones from the second addend, 27, until he got to 63. Student 4's work would follow a similar format as student 4's work in the previous problem, 43 minus 18, decomposing that 18 into 10, 1 10 and 8 ones, and needing to regroup one of the tens from 43 in order to have enough ones to subtract 8 from.